Looking at the often ignored problems that patients live with and aware that they can't be treated. To help us appreciate this, we have Dr. Zuhaib Farouk, the Director of Dental Clinical Services at Equator University of Science and Technology in Masaka. Good evening to you, Doctor, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and now to begin our discussion, Doctor, could you elaborate on the reasons why oral health tends to be overlooked by very many patients?
The reason for that is that the patients are not aware they are having the problem. First, for the problem to be realized, you need to know you're having it. So people who are not having the problem, they do not know the problem they're having, they won't be able to consult.
Okay.
So first is to know the problem. So for that, I would recommend everyone to educate themselves, and we are educating people that are coming to us on regular basis about the basic health problems, oral health problems they are facing, and they're not aware of.
Okay, and what are some of these problems that they might not know that they have, and they might not even be aware that can be treated?
I would start with the gum diseases. The gum disease starts with just the bleeding of the gums, and people tend to ignore the bleeding of the gums. They think that while brushing they are getting this bleeding. But the start of the oral health problem begins with gum bleeding. The gums are bleeding and you're not aware of it and you're not taking care of it, and it begins to exaggerate. And then the tooth starts shaking, and then we need to take it out. Also, the cavities in the mouth are the most common problems that we have encountered here in Uganda as well. So for the people should be known that if something is getting stuck in their teeth, they should know that there is a problem. There is not supposed to stuck. The things are not supposed to stuck inside the tooth. So if they are not aware of it, also they're ignoring it.
Okay.
Yeah. Once we ignore the problem, we don't need to get treatment done, right? Okay.
So oftentimes, you can be having a discussion with someone, and you just want to stop or end the discussion simply because of the bad breath that is coming out of that person's mouth. Is it as a result of the problems that you have mentioned?
Yes, that is the first thing that happens. That is the first thing that happens after gum bleeding. I'll explain to you why it occurs. Okay. The bacteria inside the mouth starts putrefying the food that is stuck inside those cavities. When it's putrefying, it becomes nasty. It becomes an odor that becomes a nasty odor. So that is what we have bad breath. That is why we have bad breath.
Okay. So what do you advise people to do when it comes to oral hygiene?
I would recommend them to brush twice daily, use a dental floss regularly, and also visit their dentist at least 6 months. At least after 6 months, they should visit their dentist.
Okay. So we also have issues of people that are actually afraid of, you did mention that they should visit their dentist, but some people are afraid or have anxiety to visit the dentist because of the misconceptions and perception of the harm or the pain that could be unbearable. But also on the other hand, some of these services are actually very expensive.
Yeah, I would like to say that this is a very good saying that I have heard recently, that dentistry is not expensive, neglect is. You know what I mean by that? I mean, when you neglect a problem and you know that you're having, if you're having a small toothache and by the end of the night you just rinse it, and you're not getting the treatment done, you're the one neglecting it, not the dental surgeon. So when you're neglecting the problem, it exaggerates. The cost increases, because first it would be done with a filling. A small cavity was there, we'll do a filling of that. It will cost less. When it becomes to the roots, it becomes a root canal treatment. It is expensive. Even after that, it becomes an extraction. We need to take this tooth out, and to replace it is even more expensive. So dentistry is not expensive. Neglect is expensive.
Okay. So as the director of the dental services at the Equator University, how are you incorporating some of the issues you've highlighted in your curriculum as you train the dental health personnel for the future?
we are incorporating the modern technologies and the modern curriculum in our studies so that we train